Hello everyone and welcome to this video. How are you guys doing? Lots and lots of shifting. Everything is happening so fast now. It's incredible. I wanted to comment a bit on what I've been receiving about the energies now and where to put our focus, because that's really the most important. No matter how the energies are, how the energy coming in is, how the energy coming up from the earth is, what the collective is doing, how any narrative or story is being played out. The most important, no matter the intensity on any sort of level, is to come back to ourselves and to really be present with ourselves, to cultivate a new and deeper relationship with ourselves, with all the aspects that we are, that being the body, that being the light that comes in, that being the mental body, that being the emotional body, that being really every aspect, the masculine and the feminine within ourselves. So taking the focus back to that and knowing that that's the most important now. It always is, but especially when things are intense, especially when things are moving really quickly, it's so easy to be drawn out or to just need a break, because it can be intense at times. And if we are in any sort of way trying to escape any intensity, escape something coming up within ourselves, try to distract ourselves, that will only be met by a wall. We really can't do it anymore. The reason why is that the energy is rising. So when the frequency is rising, the energy is spinning faster. And when it's spinning faster, there's more information in the unit that we call time, whether that's a minute or an hour or a day or whatever. That's how we understand time in this dimension. But as there's more information coming into our bodies, we're receiving more, and the whole field that we are in, that we are experiencing, is rising in frequency, and we are embodying more and more of our light. And the light that we hold that come into our body is of a much higher frequency than the physical human body that we are. And so the more we embody of this, the more we are rising in frequency in our body, and things start shifting on a physical level and all the other levels. And then when we can come back and really honor that process and accept that we are continuously in a process, that it takes time. It's not the, oh, next week I'll be done with this and I can just go back to normal, because we're not going back to any normal. We're not going back to the past. We are continuously evolving, and we're evolving more and more rapidly. And so coming back to ourselves again and again and again is really important. Also be aware of how you're coming back to yourself. Is that with expectation of improving in some way, or becoming more of this or more of that, or less of this and less of that, or whatever? Or is it with acceptance? Is it with self-love? Is it with curiosity as to what is unfolding, what is coming up? Because we are moving from the very distorted structural mind program, and that way of living, that structure, that's what we're seeing in the external, with the societal structures that are starting to crumble and that are or will rapidly be falling. It's the same within. So all these structures that we have created in our lives, the belief systems, everything is crumbling, and it will collapse and fall if we are resisting that. If we're going about that, trying to control ourselves out of what the mind can comprehend, because the only thing the mind can comprehend is the past. It's an amazing analytical tool, and we should really honor our brain for that. But when it comes to trying to figure out what to do in the future, or what to do now in order to have a future we can control, or control ourselves into something, that's not functioning. It was not functioning before either. I can attest to that. I definitely tried that in my life. but now it's becoming very, very obvious very fast if we try that pattern. And so coming out of the mind and coming into the heart and really coming into the body, into our breath, into the body, accepting ourselves and working and evolving from that, not working with ourselves from I have to fix myself because I'm not good enough, or I have to become more and more of this, or I have to become what someone else expects, or what I myself have expected from myself. It's really about coming back, surrendering into the heart, finding joy, finding creativity, because all of that will start bubbling up when we can let go, when we can take that step back, when we can take that breath and just let go and see what will emerge when all the energy, all the light, all the power that we have in our bodies and all that fire, when that can actually, when we can let go enough for that to start emerging, to start emitting out, everything else will shift. It's a ripple effect. But in order to be able to do that, we have to continuously become aware of our patterns, of the programs, of our belief systems. If there's something we believe is not possible, we won't be able to do it. We have to really have an observer mind and a critical view on what we think is possible, because there are unlimited amounts of potential. We are playing more and more in that quantum field. And if we restrict ourselves with the mindset, and there's nothing wrong about it, it's what we have learned, it's what we have absorbed from all around us as we were growing up. So it's not at all about coming from a judgmental perspective, saying this, or when you are applying this in your own life. It's about recognizing that, oh my goodness, I actually believe this. Well, when I am aware that I believe this, or that I think it has to be this way, or I have to do like this and this and this, or it has to be fixed in this way, can I actually take a step back then? Can I actually feel into, if it's not like that, how could it possibly be? Can I be open for it to be different? Can I open for the quantum field coming into play? Can I actually work with my heart and my brain in the sense of focusing my thoughts and having the emotion, opening my heart and actually playing with it in that sense? That comes from being fully in your body, being fully in your own power. What we will be experiencing now is more and more. So what I said, and as I was tuning in now just before the video, there was a whole bunch of dragons coming in. So there's really a lot of very, very powerful energy just circling around me right now. They are so active. I'll say for me, since Friday evening, it's been like a lot of dragons around. I think I have never had dragons coming in before doing a video like this. And that also really tells that they are coming online and that the energy also from the earth is really rising. What I have said is that all this energy, and what a dragon, because they start communicating now, let's see. Right. Yeah, so they say, can you imagine the really fiery, the really powerful energy of the dragons, like that force of energy, right? There's a lot of energy. If you imagine that force and that powerful energy, and that's only one of the layers that are coming up from the earth, because all the layers and dimensions will be emerging from the inner earth. So if you can imagine only that of the dragons, and that energy is starting to come up in the field that we are walking around in as we walk about our days. When this energy then is coming into our field, because it's all energy first, so it will hit our fields first. So we are learning that we're energetic beings, and not only the physical vessel. And as all of these energies that are really powerful starts coming into our fields, this is nothing scary, this is nothing bad, it's all, we know how to interact with it, we know how to hold ourselves in it, but we have forgotten. And this is one of the most important things to focus on now, is what they're saying. How can you hold your own field? How can you hold your own energy in the interaction or meeting point with other energies? Because all of this will first be felt in your energy field, and there will be, for many, there will be a lot of attunement as we are becoming more sensitive to all these energies, and there's so much more force, so much more of that energy that is coming into our fields. We don't have to contract, to hide, or watch the belief systems again. I believe I'm weak, I believe I don't know how to do this, I can't see things, I don't hear things, I don't know energy. All of these things are only belief systems. If we come back to ourselves, if we are in the focus of coming back to ourselves, getting the layers out that needs to be cleared when they're popping up, we don't need to go look for them because they are definitely coming up now. All of this month is like a massive clearing month, clearings and activations constantly. And it's, as I'm talking now, they're just showing me this like a huge portal, and that's really what we are moving through. We are in all the shifting and all the intensity that we can be experiencing inside now is aligning us with the frequency we need to walk through that next sort of initiation or portal, or call it what you want, that next stage in our own personal evolution. But as all of this energy is hitting our fields, it's so important to remember, because what they're saying is to meet it with sovereignty, to meet it with curiosity, because it's nothing dangerous, it's just more energy than what we maybe have been used to working with or meeting or dealing with. And also with a good connection to your own energy and empowered state. Because when we know that we are empowered beings, when we know that we are actually a higher dimensional light in a physical vessel, and that we hold that power and we are that light and that force of energy ourselves, and we don't need to bump against things in a, how can I say this, in a resistance in a way, with either just thinking that we have to push things out of our fields or away from us, but that we are actually just in being ourselves and in having both the observer perspective, so we can see a bigger picture of things when we find ourselves in interactions and maybe being triggered and those types of things, but always coming from your own energy and how you want to express, because our physical body is a vehicle of expression of that light that you are, that has incarnated into this body. And so if we have the focus there and we clear distortions that are coming up, we let go, we go beyond again and again and again, and we keep evolving, we are in our own energy. When we are in our own energy, we will feel the energies around, but we will also be sovereign. It won't be too much. We just need to be aware that there might be things that we are not used to be feeling. It's nothing bad, it's nothing wrong, it's just the energy that has always been there, but so much more of it because it's emerging. And so having the awareness that meeting it with a good connection to your own energy, to your own empowerment, being sovereign, being curious. These are new energies I can actually play with, interact with. What is this? How does it feel? Do I feel when it comes into my field? How do I want to, what do I want to do? I want to have it in my field or interact, or don't I? Having the awareness of it from yourself, not from out there, but from the core, from the center. That's really, really important in the time coming. And there will be a period where a lot of people will need the attunement to this, little by little, because we are learning. We don't know how to do everything overnight. But we are, well, learning, but really remembering, because we do know it. We're just removing all the layers that the forgetfulness held and all the programs. Let me take a look at my notes. Yes, and so they're saying that all of this also is a bit of a preparation to what's coming. And what that means is really that we are becoming so much more powerful now. And what we are really doing now is to come back and to realize more of how powerful we are. Even though I'm very aware that many people have a very challenging time now. And what I have said many times over the last week, and they are reminding me now to talk about this, is that remember that the contraction that you might be feeling is within a bigger expansion. So can you imagine that the expanded version of you is already holding you? You have to do the contractions and then expand, go into a new contraction. Things are not feeling very good. And then we're expanding. We are having epiphanies. We are evolving. We're moving beyond. And then there's a new contraction and expansion again. Remember that all of that is happening within a bigger expansion. And so when it's challenging, when there's things coming up, when there's emotions that needs to be released, that we need to sit with, when we need to attune to our bodies in different ways, when things are shifting in our relationships, in our work situation, maybe location where we live, all of these types of things. Remember that it's all happening for us to keep moving. So what is actually coming up within the situation you find yourself in? How can you find your own empowerment in that? How can you find your alignment through that? How can you use it to become more aligned, to find more of your own truth? How can you use it to really rise into more of who you are? That's what we are doing now. We're becoming more and more empowered. We are realizing that we are energetic beings. And with that and all of the fiery energy coming up from the earth now, we will start feeling more of that in ourselves as well. But letting go, coming into the heart, is really, really important. And when the mind comes in, tries to take charge, tries to take control, can you let it have a break? And remember that the mind is an incredible tool for analysis and those types of things. It is not good to use in order to figure out or to make the decision from. We need to come back to our hearts, because that's where we can feel the frequency, the alignment, and the energy that we are. And that energy is what is going to move you into the next highest version of who you are, and it's what's going to move you through any challenge coming up in the most gentle way possible. If we are working from the mind and we're trying to take control We are trying to figure out something in the current energies based on something we have experienced in completely different energies years ago. It won't work. And so there's a lot of shifting, a lot of changing. So be gentle with yourself, nurture yourself. There's a lot of shifts in the physical body as well. Really start tuning in, if you're not already doing it, to your body, to what it needs, what it wants, and cultivate that relationship for yourself. And as always, have a lot of compassion for everyone else around you, because they're going through the exact same thing. And we are evolving so fast now. It's absolutely fascinating. I hope you're doing well. I hope this can be helpful for you. Thank you for everyone commenting. I really appreciate your comments. And thank you so much for your likes and your shares. I hope you are doing well. I will see you in the next video, and I thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Bye bye.